Good morning, Scituate. I'm Karen Canfield from the Town of Scituate Select Board. Today is December 18th, 1 week to Christmas. I know the storm is on everyone's mind, so I'm going to turn this right over to our Town Administrator, Mr. Jim Bedrell.
Good morning. Ignore the picture behind me. That's not the weather outside right now. Wind and rain continue to impact us, will impact us through most of the day today. As of this morning, we had 30 customers without power, most in the area of Williamsburg Lane. Grid is working on restoration. Problem is they can't put anybody up in the buckets until these wind gusts get out, so they'll move those as quickly as possible. Wind and rain will continue through the morning into this afternoon. So if you're out and about, just please use caution. The crews are out cleaning up any debris they find in the streets. We do have some limbs down various places around town. So just be a little cautious until that wind dies down later on this afternoon. We're fortunate this week that, like last week, this is a rain event and not a snow event. We're not plowing it. But we do ask you to please get ready. Winter is coming. Go to the town website. There's an emergency preparedness link right at the top. Click that, and there's plenty of tips for getting ready for storms and the winter weather. Speaking of winter, Widows Walk is now closed for the season. No more golf at Widows Walk. We actually had a pretty busy weekend this weekend. The golf course was packed, according to Ian. But we are closed for the week. Starting December 24th, we will be open for walkers and sledders and whatever else the weather will support. So please come out and enjoy the course. We do ask that you keep your dogs on leashes at all times as required. Avoid walking over the greens or into the sand traps. And most importantly, pick up after your dogs. We will have, as last year, we have barrels by the parking lot for you to dispose of your refuse, but please don't let the dogs go on the course. Don't let them loose. It costs a lot of money to maintain greens and sand traps, so please help us maintain our course while you enjoy it. Drift-In remains open this week. They'll be open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturday, 10 to 9, and then starting on the 24th, they'll be open Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So the Drift-In is still open during the winter months. If you're looking for the water department, they're back at their office down at Old Oaken Bucket, down at the treatment plant. That building was hit by a vehicle well over 2 months ago. Repairs were made. They're back in their office. So if you have business with the water department, please go down there. Thanks to Kevin Kelly and his facility staff for getting this work done and getting those people back in their home. The town clerk has announced that the 2024 annual census has been mailed out to residents. Please read both sides carefully, sign and return it as soon as possible. Returning the census assures voters will remain on the active voter list. You may not use the census to add voters to your household or to make any changes to existing voters. To make a change to your voter registration, address, name, party, etc., you may do so in person at the town clerk's office or online at registertovotema.com. That's all one word. If the voter has moved within Massachusetts, they can register in the new community or online and will be taken out of the Scituate voter database. The voter has moved out of state. The clerk's office will need a signed note from the voter to be removed from the voters list. If you have any questions, call the town clerk's office, 781-545-8743. If you're in the neighborhood of the senior center today, the Scituate Assessor's Office will be holding an exemptions workshop at the senior center from 11 a.m. to noontime. They'll be discussing senior exemptions as well as veterans, surviving spouse, blind, CPA, and tax deferral exemptions. This is an opportunity for taxpayers who qualify to learn what they qualify for and maybe save some money on their taxes. That's a good event. So if you're around, 11 o'clock at the senior center. Work continues on the lighthouse. The existing granite section, the grouting is done. We're going to start doing the grouting work on the existing brick section this week. Obviously, they're not working today, but they are scheduled to start that this week. When they're finished grouting the existing brick, they'll do some grout work on the new brick section where it ties into the existing tower. That work will probably take at least a week, if not 10 days. Once that is done, the staging will be removed. The lantern room enclosure, the work is mostly done at this point. The windows are in. We do have one window still open for them to be able to access the tower. That window will actually be an open window that can be open and closed to access. The lantern room framing and flooring should be completed this week, and the balcony railing should be installed later this week. That's actually a custom job because the landing is not a perfect octagon, so that actually has to be put in by hand. They'll put in the railings, and then they'll measure and put in everything else that needs to go up there. But you should start seeing those later this week, depending on the weather. We are still working down on the Egypt Beach area on I&I. We're relocating a water line so we can put in a new sewer line down there. That will take the next several weeks. So if you're in that area, please be prepared to have delays caused by that construction. Once it's done, we'll do a winter patch and then come back in the springtime to make repairs to that road. We want to keep reminding people to shop local this holiday season, and whenever you can, local businesses are the backbone of the community, so please support them, not only this holiday season, but when you shop during the year. And finally, for me today, the Scituate Food Pantry is grateful for their assistance. The needs continue to rise as winter time comes. They're looking for white tuna, beef soups, mixed vegetables, sloppy joe, jello and pudding, regular ground coffee, green and herbal tea. Those items can be dropped off during normal business hours at the food pantry or placed in the bins behind the food pantry or at the Scituate Library, the Village Market, and Shaw's. That's what I have for today.
Thanks, Jim. And make sure that you thank the DPW staff on behalf of the town for getting those roads cleaned up after the storm. This week, as always, the meetings that are being held about town business are all listed on the calendar on the town website. I will point out tomorrow night, the select board will be meeting at our usual time at 6:30. And we will continue to be doing a review of the fiscal 25 proposed budgets by each town department. So that will be concluding with bringing our recommendations to town meeting in April. So if you're interested in how the budget's built, that is all ongoing now. And as this is probably the last time we will see you this year, the select board would very much like to commend all of our town employees for all their hard work throughout the year. And we are so lucky to have so many talented folks working on our behalf in this town. And with that, I will segue to a very important and talented person on our team, our superintendent of schools, Mr. Bill Burkett.
Thank you, Ms. Canfield, and right back at you. Happy Monday, everybody. I would like to just talk about the weather. We are in December, and today was a windy and certainly a challenging day. I will say everyone made it to school safely, and I fully anticipate everybody will make it home safely from school. I also want to remind the folks out there that there's constant communication between the town. DPW does a great job working with our facilities folks, our custodians, our transportation department, business and finance director, myself. We started communicating on this particular storm last Friday about transportation, about whether we're to have school or not. So, and even today on busing home with the tides and the wind. So just know that there'll be constant communication with you as well if there are any changes. And we also request that if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to us directly so that the goal is reached that everyone comes to school and returns home safely. So with that being said, tonight we have a school committee meeting at 6 p.m. in the Scituate High School Library. That meeting will also be broadcast or simulcasted, I should say, via Zoom. So you'll have the opportunity to Zoom in or attend in person. I know that's also recorded and posted on the website afterwards for further viewing. Some topics for tonight's agenda include our student report, which is provided by seniors David Murphy and Louisa Kinsley, who are outstanding citizens of our high school and give tremendous updates on all things Scituate High School. We also have a great tradition for our meetings, which is celebrate student learning, which each department comes in during the year and talks about the great things happening in their departments with our children and staff in education. This week and this evening will be the Fine Arts and Music Department with a lot of things going on this time of year, certainly in that department, so great timing for that. We'll have my superintendent's report tonight, which will include a very important update on the Cushing-Hatherley building project. Hopefully folks can be there or check this out after the fact. We're having our OPM and architect presenting this evening and answering questions. So that's an update on where we stand at this moment and very important information to get out to the community. We'll also have our assistant superintendent's report, which will talk about professional development in Scituate Public Schools and how we train our teachers and work with our educators to provide quality professional learning for those folks so that they're up to speed and can teach your children the best and provide the best education for them. And finally, we have a school committee policy update from the policy team involving school improvement plans. So that's a jam-packed agenda and hope folks can make it this evening. Just to follow up, my second item would be on the Cushing-Hatherley building project. The vote is this spring, so I want to keep this front and center on folks' mind agenda. If you're not familiar with the project, I would like to direct you to the website, which is scit.org, scit.org. Right on the home page, you'll see community. Click that box and it'll take you right to the MSBA project. A whole page with helpful information, including our current schedule and next steps, what's upcoming, what's current, meeting dates, agenda, and notes if you'd like to go back and catch up. Frequently asked questions, which is extremely helpful and revised regularly based on community feedback, including the public meeting we had last week, which was extremely helpful for us to gather feedback and answer questions. So that's a great document to start you off on. It also has pictures of the both current schools, Hadley and Cushing, of the current conditions, and really answers the question on why we're doing all this. So I think that those photos are a great way, besides the narrative, to get a viewing of what's actually happening in the schools and what's what needs to be repaired or why we're asking for a new school. And finally, some dates of important votes for this project upcoming this spring, and a bunch of other information. I also want to allow folks to reach out to me directly at wburkhead@cit.org. Email me out or reach out to central office, and I'd be happy to meet with folks, bring you up to speed, answer your questions, and inform you so that we have an educated public for our very important vote in the spring. So enjoy your week, everybody, and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm putting this on and reminding you again, don't forget to shop local. 1 week till Christmas, and I hope everyone enjoys this beautiful holiday season, and best of luck to you in the rest of the storm. Take care.